But let's talk about the business side. And Chris, I would love some insight from you in this because you are our designated social media business guru here on the Roundtable. But to start, is anybody signed to an agency at this point?
I got a story for y'all.
Uh-oh.
I'm a part of that little group, the Carter Agency. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, girl.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was
Not
signed.
Josh and Ben.
Yeah, but my agency scammed a lot of us and stole a lot of our money. So right now we're in a class action lawsuit. So I'm currently not signed if you guys, are listening.
Oh, I'm
but
sorry that
yeah,
happened.
yeah, crazy.
Does it-
Beware.
Does it make you not trust agencies? Like, has your perspective changed on that?
Yeah, definitely. But it's like one of those things that it comes with the game, You kind of just you take a gamble, and I think I don't know, I'm learning a lot from the situation. I'm taking a lot from it. I'm like really starting to take having a lawyer way more seriously. I think the older you get, the more you realize like, damn, you really have to have like a lawyer on call to review contracts that you go through. I thought that was something that
No.
but it's a thing, but even it's not even too much about the contract. It's more so about they were just scamming. It wasn't even like the contracts were fine. It was just they were really just stealing the money. So
How did you find out?
somebody made there was pretty much like a whistleblower from
Specs and Blazer.
yeah,
Okay.
Nike. So she made a video about it and tagged a lot of the creators, and so we kind of all got alerted to it, and then some of us stuck together in a group and decided to do the class action lawsuit route, and some people are doing like the actual criminal case thing with the DA and all that stuff. So we're all going our different ways, but it's a whole thing. And it's like so many Black creators. I didn't realize there was so many Black creators that I knew on the app that were doing really well, putting up numbers. They were it was crazy. It's a crazy situation. The New York Times just recently interviewed us, so yeah, it's a whole thing. Yeah.
That story, I just the manager started knocking at my door and the agency started knocking at my door. And that story happened before it started, like the managers and the agency idea became a thought for me. And I really had that in the back of my mind a lot when I took these calls. I took a call with, I actually won't name drop, but I took some call with some agencies and I was like, I'll just be on your roster. You can't even really tell me what my content is about. And so I think a lot of it, like the music industry. I think when the music industry, especially when we started to, blow up, we think about TLC and things like that, we kind of get screwed on the back end. And especially looking at that story, it was really African-American women, Black women, women of color with the Carter Agency. And I just feel like that's a pattern. They know our worth and they try to, take whatever they can. So when I just recently signed to a manager, I went with someone who had a hustle behind them. First person that they signed. We're going to see how this goes. Really no type of hard thing there, but someone who I know I can trust and I know will have my best foot for. So yes, I'm signed, but I signed to someone who's starting their own management company with influencers
That's
and
what
agencies.
I'm looking for.
Yeah,
somebody who's like, yeah.
She's great. I'll tell you about it
Yeah, so this is my second stint with management. The first time I was signed to, I'm not going to name names, but most of their creators are, lacking melanin, quite pale. And there were some issues there. I also spoke to like another Black person who was signed on their roster, and she was like, yeah, they would always tell me like, I'm not generating enough money. And it's like, yeah, well, if you pitch me with a bunch of blonde white women for a company that only posts a bunch of blonde white women, what makes you think they're gonna pick my Black ass?
Right.
But really for me, it came time to leave that agency when I found out that a Black creator who was lighter skinned but had lower engagement and far fewer followers was getting paid more than me on the same brand campaign. And I was like, oh, that's cute. I think our 6 months are almost up, so like this was fun. And then I was independent for most of 2022 and then just recently signed with a Black-owned agency in December. And that's been great because in the past month, child, I've been putting in the work. I've been seeing the emails like, yeah, y'all are doing your job for sure. Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
So, now it's a lot better. But back then I was like, wow, y'all trying to kill me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Blessings to them though. I hope they figure that out.
It's so hard being a Black content creator because a lot of the reasons why non-Black content creators do so well is because they can make so much content for brands because they're getting sent free stuff all the time. Like so often Black creators, we have to pay for stuff,
Right.
make the content, and then hope that they want to do something with it or hope that they see it and they like it. But like I'm telling you, like when you are on these PR lists, the amount of free stuff you get all the time, it makes it so easy for you to just easily create content and
I'm not
review
gonna lie,
products and
like,
stuff.
Early on in the game, like early 2021, I kind of peeped game on how my white friends were moving. And I was like, oh, you're on like such and such's PR list. Like, send me the email. Literally be like, send me the email. When I tell you I had a template, like to the point where like every person got the same email and it was just like drag and drop what I was going to put in. I think I would send like 25 to 30 emails a day on just some like, hey, I'm Sidonie. Like, this is the kind of content I make, literally linking what I was doing. Like, you know, would love your brand, love this particular product, would talk about the product.
Right.
And then be like, I would love if you could add me to your PR list. Like, literally not like, hey, can you pay me for this video? Can you just add me to your PR list? And it's like, all right, cool. They add me to the PR list. Then it's like, you know, I'll use the product 3-4 times, but make sure I tag them every single time.
Right.
Because I know there's always going to be times in the pipeline where they want the Black girl to do it.
Right.
February, Black History Month.
No,
When I tell
yeah.
you December,
It's about to be our time, y'all.
It's about to be my
time.
December to January, when I tell you, like, I am posting, I'm tagging every brand because I know January 15th is going to roll around. You're going to be like, oh my God, we have to do this Black History Month thing. And you don't have anybody sourced yet. Cool. Hey, what's up? I'm your girl. And I want X amount of dollars for it. You know, like holiday season, I know that's coming up, like specifically because like I'm not too far out of college. Like that August back to school season is always like really big for me. So it's like, I'll sit there and I will cultivate all those relationships independently outside of management to make sure, like, even if I leave this company, you staying with me. Even if I move, you gonna send me that package. Like I'm leaving here with something.
Right.
Can I say something too, though? I think that's something that's like breaking the fourth wall when we talk about what you said. Like, people don't realize, and especially being a Black content creator, people are not knocking at our doors. I'm sorry, you got to call it what it is.
Yeah.
They're not as people think. And we see the comments. I don't know if y'all, but people, especially when you have your hot moment, that's what I call it, where the algorithm loves you, people are seeing you everywhere, and they think you are getting paid for everything you post. And it's really like, that's not the reality.
Right.
I am reaching out to brands sometimes just to get a PR package, you know, and then you add that on top of then when the algorithm doesn't like you, we call a spade a spade. It's just how it goes. Honestly, I see it with a ton of Black content creators. We just had your moment, then the algorithm says, no, not right now. And then you say, yeah, right here. And I just really, really wish people would get that. Honestly, our community plays a big part. I really feel like time and time again, I'm sure we're going to talk about this. They see us on there. They see us, quote unquote, popping and going viral. Right.
Let's do it. Let's
But
open
we
it.
gotta do it because I feel like it's so important because they think we live this life of glamour and influencers like the blonde and the blue eyes. And honestly, though, a good amount of Black content creators I talk to constantly grinding, sending their pitch emails, sending this, thinking of how they're posting so this can make sense when I do need to pay my rent. You know, it's a lot more than people think.
So like the strategy part of it, like it's really funny because, so like I said, on Friday I got laid off from my job, and I remember like my mom calling her, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna like create full time. And my mom, you know, immigrant woman, she's like, is what you doing, Sidonie? Like she was like, what?
Right.
Like she was like,
What is that?
she was like, I'm supposed to tell people that my child makes videos. She was
Right.
like, baby,
Yeah.
baby, find a way to make this sound like a
Right.
job, you know? And I'm explaining to her, I was like, no, like this is social media strategy. This is strategy and operations. Like what
It
I'm doing
is.
specifically,
Yeah.
like when I think about what I did in my core role, like my content is on my resume. Like that is a job. Like it's brokering partnerships, negotiating, like being featured. Like this is a media and entertainment role, but it's like people don't necessarily think of it like that because they're like, oh, you make videos, but it's like, okay, cool. Let's say I do, you know, one video for like a credit card company or something, and it's like, oh, they have this new credit card, great. Yeah, sure, they sent me that credit card, I got an account, whatever. Still, to make that 1 minute video, I had to spend an hour and a half to do my makeup. I had to set up all these lights. I had to make an apartment in New York City where there's sirens outside sound completely soundproof. Like I'm out here putting insulation at windows and like, you know, foam and stuff to make sure there's no sound. It's like, then I do all that, record the video for 2 hours that I got to chop and screw for another 2 hours just to get it down to a minute. Oh, and I got to make sure I hit all the talking points that they send me, but it sounds organic so y'all don't realize that it's an ad and immediately click out,
Right, exactly.
despite the fact that I got to have the disclosure on it. It's like that in itself is is labor.
It's
Like,
a lot.
that is labor.
But that's a point that I was gonna make too, is the Black content creators that I see being able to have like hella PR packages and stuff.
Mhm.
The quality of their content is so far past what their non-Black counterparts have. Like,
Let's
I'm
talk about
sorry,
it.
I'm gonna call it out. There's this new it girl on TikTok. And we all know the Alex Earl
Alex,
was
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Say
saw
that.
one
So
of her
I
ads
had never
today.
heard her. I'd never heard it until people started to have like commentary about her success. So I went on her page and I'm just like,
Front.
so
I'll say that.
simple, like literally
Yeah.
like propping your phone on your desk,
Yeah.
trying on some bathing suits, just being like, I'm just gonna go, you know what I'm saying, have like a brunch with my
Yeah.
homegirls, like, you know, very chill. It's
You
not
know
like
she
a
ain't
whole
say
production.
homegirls.
I know, my girlies. And like,
My girl.
and I'm not hating on her because I'm just like, if that's what your audience wants, if white people see that and they're just like, we like her, she's relatable,
Mhm.
cool, like
Which
make her
is
your in
hilarious
girl.
because the relatable angle really gags me because this is a girl who's like so wealthy, it is insane. Like parents worth tens of millions of dollars, lives in this big ass house, goes to this, like, I think like the third most expensive college in the United States, like is on a yacht every day. Like that girl is not
Relatable.
But
But
people will see
she has a
Black
lifestyle
creators
people-
who
Right.
exist in the same way, and they're like, "Oh, you're not relatable. Like, I can't follow you because I don't support this. You gotta be a sugar baby. Like, you know, you gotta be fucking
Right.
for money. Blah blah blah."
Right.
But it's like, okay, so that girl not doing that? Like, what's the
Right.
difference?
Right.
Yeah,
What's the
that's why I'm
difference?
saying like I just see very few content creators that are Black that can make casual content. That's what I would
Right.
consider her
Yeah.
content. Very casual
Yeah.
content, like I don't want to say low quality,
Local, no,
because
no,
it sounds-
no, no. Call a spade a spade.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
No
and
shade,
still
no
get
shade,
that
but-
amount of attention. I only see non-Black creators getting that much. Like you being able to sit down and cut fruit, and like now you're just at like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. We
Yeah,
we
she
have to put in
did.
so much.
No,
more
no,
effort.
I agree.
But-
Because when I think about apologies, when I think about her peers, Alex Earl's quote unquote peers, like specifically with that Tarte brand trip, like you know exactly who I'm talking about. The one
Yeah.
Black person on that trip.
Yeah.
Like I've met that girl, I've seen her edit her videos in real time. Like that is a level of skill that in
Mm.
reality, if she studied that in school, she would be getting like
Mhm.
that's a skill, that's a job.
Yeah.
And it's like then I see the difference where, you know, no shade to Miss Earl. When I looked at one of her sponsor posts today, because it came on my feed, I said, wow, this is grainy as hell. Like the quality is low, the sound is bad, but like y'all are gonna buy it just like how y'all sold out that Miel oil, because you like it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, like this is interesting. But then I look at, you know, my like Black creator friends in New York who have like 500K, maybe like 1 million. The level of effort that I see them go through to film one sponsored TikTok, they'll have like 3 people on site. Like, one
Yeah.
person holding a light, one person holding a
Mhm.
mic, like another person tracking them while they're doing the recording themselves. It's like they're paying 4 different people to create that one brand deal so they can get 50K and Alex will get 300K and her
Yeah.
video's way lower.
That's why we have to keep
Yeah.
propping up Keith Lee.
Right.
He's going
Shout out
like
Keith.
that's why we have to keep doing that for because he's like he makes
Exactly.
similar in terms of like low kind of like quality,
Yeah.
like not too very casual content.
Mhm.
But that's why I support his career so much.
I
Because
want to
like,
see
we
Black
need
people
more
going
of
up
us
for
to be
being
able to be
mediocre.
successful like him.
Right.
Yeah.